100,000 rupiah that will be given in between of the speaker sessions and at the end of this webinar. Please remember to keep your microphones muted during the sessions to ensure a clear audio experience for all attendees. And without further ado, I would like to invite our speaker, Dr. Vijay Kanabar, the Director of Project Management from Boston University Metropolitan College. Hello, Dr. Vijay. And
Hello.
before, yes, I would like to read Dr. Vijay Kanabar's profile. He is the Director of Project Management Programs and Associate Professor at Boston University, and where he has been teaching for the past 25 years at the university level. Dr. Kanabar has served on key committees, including the President's Council on Educational Technology and Learning and Innovations, which deals with digital learning. Also, he has authored several books in the domains of computing and project management. He also has co-authored a book on CAPM and is completed a new book dealing with AI for project management. So without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Kanabar to deliver his material. Dr. Kanabar, time is yours.
Hello, thank you very much. Thank you for the warm introduction. I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right, so a warm welcome to all the distinguished members of the ResearchMate team. It's a very entrepreneurial, excellent business proposal or innovative proposal. I'd like to welcome all the other distinguished members, faculty, and certainly participants. I'll go ahead and describe my own personal journey into AI. We did see a nice introduction at the start of our webinar describing the history of artificial intelligence. What was mentioned very clearly was there were lots of ups and downs. Long time ago, when I started my personal journey, research journey into AI, I saw a little bit of the same. So let's focus on one of the things that your introduction mentioned, that there was a peak period for AI in the 70s, and then in the 80s, there was, a cooling down period. So I'll take you back to those era. I was working at that time in AI, focusing on expert systems. So expert systems is very interesting. It's similar to ChatGPT. There's a difference in the way expert systems worked. They were rule-based, and the rules are really knowledges based on facts, and they were able to solve specific problems. So if I take a look at one of the first major expert systems I created, this was a 3-year effort working with actual experts. We created a project management expert system by asking practitioners about their experience with managing projects, and especially how they assessed complexity and how real people and practitioners estimated costs. So this was my historic first experience with AI. The real experts did a pretty good job. I was able to create rules based on their experience, and this was published in several books at that time. One of the key challenges we noticed with the AI technology from the past is they were very, they were focused on specific tasks. For example, my expert system was focused on estimating projects. There were other expert systems at that time which were focused on, let us say, it could be something like cooking. So the world's best chef would provide his or her expertise. And once the expert system has been created, similar to ChatGPT, you are able to ask questions. So ChatGPT is wonderful in the sense it is not domain limited. My expert system was domain limited. It was focused on cost estimation. It did a pretty good job with cost estimation, but it was not generic. Another key thing that I noticed was knowledge acquisition. I spent a lot of time getting data from human experts, understanding what they know about project management and how they estimated complex projects, converting everything into a machine readable format. Used an expert system at that time. They were all expert system shells. And I had to do knowledge engineering. It was very labor intensive. And then I had to work with system developers to encode this. Today, when I use ChatGPT, it's just so straightforward to leverage it. Updating was a problem. If there were some changes, let's say a new technology came along, and now I had to make changes to the expert system, adapting or updating this was a major problem. So the more complex the system was, the harder it was, and it started creating errors because you had, you make one change, it may impact the rules that were downstream. My expert system did not have common sense. So this was very typical with the large expert systems of the earlier era. I'll give you a simple example. American Express at that time created an expert system to help with fraud detection. So let's say a bank had a similar expert system. It was pretty good at deciding who to give money and who not to give money, because they encoded the knowledge of the experts pretty well. And the AI system did a pretty good job. But they don't have the common sense that you might find in today's generative AI systems like ChatGPT. They cannot generalize. For example, if there was a new immigrant, this is what I recall from the comments way back. If there was a new immigrant who got a really good job, and this person went to the same place for a loan, the AI system would not give money to this new person because it was not programmed for new people who came to the country, got a green card. They do not have significant history. The AI system would not give a loan. So there were all kinds of issues here. So this is where, once again, you have to appreciate the generative AI systems of today, whether it's Cloud or .ai or Bard, and certainly the champion amongst them all is ChatGPT. So eventually, everything failed because there was a lack of adoption. There was a lack of integration. And this should be a lesson that we all should be watching out for today. Just as the earlier AI systems failed, it's quite possible that the new systems we are talking about, the new generative AI systems, might fail because we may have a lack of adoption. Even though some sectors have started embracing this, we may see issues with adoption. So technology is better, so the chances of success are really better. So I'm not too concerned about that. As far as expert systems were concerned, they were trained using, interviews and other mechanisms. Elicitation of knowledge was done by talking with people and some data encoding. But the way today's generative AI are functioning, it's amazing. Large amount of data is being captured. Uh, we had to do it in a manual manner a long time ago. Today, the, it's pretty automatic. Generative models learn from the data, and as we all know, it can be pretty automatic. So in the book, AI for Project Management, which is going to be published by Pearson and released in November, in the first chapter, I have given the PM GPT a copy of my own book dealing with project management. So it's my own licensed copy of MBA fundamentals. So I had GPT read everything. It didn't take too long for it to read the whole book. And then pretty soon it was able to understand and do a lot of things. It had some capability. So let's compare ResearchMate with PMGPT. So this explains the difference between the earlier AI systems and what we see today in the generative AI systems. The PMGPT was going to be used to explain concepts. If any project manager wants to understand, let's say, Agile, or the difference between Kanban and Scrum, it has really good capability to explain the difference to anyone who wants it. The other capability I wanted PMGPT to present was to brainstorm. And I'll show you an example of that in the next slide. And to help with decision making. A very exciting capability which a lot of project managers or members of the project team need to learn is rehearsing and role playing. In projects, we frequently have people from different parts of the world. Understanding different culture, understanding how they communicate or what their holidays are. Those kind of issues are very difficult to understand. But this is where generative AI is excellent. You can have team members play the role of people from different parts of the world. So if one team member is from Ireland, if another team member is from Saudi Arabia, another team member from Indonesia, it's possible to ask the team member to understand how that particular team member would communicate and participate in decision making. So those capabilities are very exciting, certainly summarizing and reporting. Now, all of these capabilities are desirable in ResearchMate. So it's an excellent product idea. I can personally see myself using a product like ResearchMate to do all of these things, to explain my research concept that I'm interested in, to communicate, to brainstorm, to help me with decision making, to help me summarize and report. The only capability that I'm not interested in ResearchMate would be rehearsing and role playing. That would be more important in project management, but not necessarily in the ResearchMate product. But all of these capabilities are pretty exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the product works out. For example, once I get my hand on ResearchMate, this is the problem I'm going to ask. Is ChatGPT helpful in the classroom? So I teach different sections. So at Boston University, for example, this semester I would have 2 sections of project management. What if I have one class using ChatGPT and another class not using ChatGPT? Not all students in the introductory class are keen to use ChatGPT. Some people will say, you know, it's nice, but I want to learn. ResearchMate will give me a chance to understand how to create a hypothesis. It'll explain very clearly and communicate how I should do my research, what my sample size should be, what my hypothesis should be, how can I prove or disprove it. These are very difficult tasks. Long time ago, these would take 10 hours just to understand how to go about creating creating a abstract for the research paper, and then trying to define the hypothesis, and then to move ahead and design a questionnaire. All of these things can be done so quickly. All right, so these are wonderful examples. So from my book, here's a sample chapter where we are asking, this is a real world scenario, where we are trying to understand who the stakeholders are. So LML Home Improvement is a real company in the Boston area. Louis is one of the is the owner of this business. And Louis is interested in expanding his business. He wants to expand his business into Acton, Massachusetts, which is on the outskirts of the Boston area. So here is an example of someone who is a construction worker, construction project manager, who is asking ChatGPT, tell me who the stakeholders are for my particular project. And obviously it would list people like the architects, subcontractors, suppliers, finance providers. But what Louis was very impressed was the other stakeholders, for example, neighbors. The neighbors might be need to be informed that there is going to be a lot of noise, there's going to be construction, and informing the people in the neighborhood is very important out of courtesy. Those kind of things can come out with generative AI. It has amazing capabilities. Even as an experienced project manager, you will miss out on some stakeholders. But products like ChatGPT are pretty intelligent, pretty amazing, and they should be able to give you a lot of data. Some of you have used ChatGPT. You probably know it's incredibly fast. So the performance is just so wonderful. So this is one of the key promising things with the generative AI. Now, as you saw, I gave PMGPT a copy of my own book to read, and it then tried to understand the various tokens and was able to create some sentences. But what we don't know is what kind of learning took place with the current generative AI systems. They offer flexibility, scalability. We have all of these. But when it comes to accuracy, when it comes to the content itself, when it comes to the bias, all of these things we have to watch out for. So all the participants who are here, if you're wondering, hey, we have this tool, the professor is telling us to use it in class, what am I learning? Well, what you are learning is still um, uh, the fundamental fact, the fundamental truth, which is the stuff that's coming out accurate? All right. So you cannot say it is accurate unless you know the information. So learning is not going to change. You will be learning a lot. To conclude, it's everywhere. Generative AI is everywhere. I've been using Expedia for at least 15 years. The last time I went to Expedia, this is what I'm seeing on my home screen. I'm seeing at the bottom, planning a new escape, let's chat. So I told ChatGPT, yes, I'm going to Toronto. And it's telling me, okay, what do you want to do? Then I said, I want to tell me what's interesting or things to do near Toronto. And then it tells me, here is Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is, hour and a half from Toronto. So after you see the city, you can go to this particular place. The style with which I was able to communicate with Expedia is a completely different experience than trying to use Google search. Same thing. I'm hoping that in project management, someone would probably use generative AI to plan a new project. And that I'm hoping finally that if someone wants to come up with a research idea and to create a wonderful business case and eventually implement a project, I'm hoping people will get a chance to use ResearchMate. So thank you very much. The future is very bright. I think you're all in the right place to understand and appreciate this technology. I wish you all good luck and good learning in the rest of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kanabar, for your insightful perspective on artificial intelligence in academia. And before we have the first Q&A session, we will have the second speaker, Dr. Yunisari, the CEO of UX Indonesia. Before I invite Dr. Yunisari, I would like to read her profile. So Dr. Yunisari is the CEO and the co-founder of UX Indonesia, the first insight-driven UX research, training, and consulting company based in Indonesia since 2002, and co-founder of Customer Experience Insight Pty Ltd Australia. And Dr. Yunisari works have brought her to the next level as the first Asian female Google developer expert in product design and strategy, the first Asian female Google certified design sprint master. In 2014, she pioneered the first HCI and UX community movement in Indonesia and co-founded Indonesia ACM CC chapter as the first ACMCC local chapter in Asia in 2015. And she worked with local Southeast Asia communities to develop CCI and UX community in the region. Dr. Yunisari will talk about the generative artificial intelligence in education research. For Dr. Yunisari, time is yours.
Hello, thank you, Ibu Nini, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Pak Hasim, especially who are my friend who actually invited me to come here.
My
And
pleasure, Bu.
it's good to be here last minute. Yes. So yeah, it was really thank you. First of all, I just want to congratulate everyone here, like who launched the ResearchMate. I'm really excited what is going to happen here, and I think you guys like choose the right topic that is like dear to many of us. Thank you, Professor Kanabar, who have opened up with a really interesting and inspiring presentation. So today I just want to share with you a little bit of my experience. Let me share my slide. Okay, can you guys see my slide? Okay. So yeah, my name is Eunice. So basically what I'm doing is like I'm a mix of the academic and practitioners, doing a lot of projects for the last 20 years in the academic as well as in the industry. Yeah, I have a couple of affiliation in the university in Indonesia as well as in Australia, mainly doing research. And my company, Customer Experience Insight, which is based in Australia, and also UX Indonesia, which is based in Indonesia, we are doing a lot of research and publication on the area, on different kind of areas, including education, financial technology, agriculture, and many things. Basically, what we are looking at is like about the people, about the technology, about the culture, and our focus is actually right now, like in the time being, is looking at the people and technology and culture and business which are in Indonesia as well as in Australia. But it doesn't mean that we are not collaborating. I'm always collaborating with anyone, and we are interested like to collaborate with the research institution, with any university, if they are interested like to do research with us, as well as to have their students coming to Australia or their lecturer coming to Australia in our organization to do some work integrated learning. So that's about me, and yeah, this is what basically what I just talked about, like the research and the training and certification in user experience that we are doing for the last 20 years. So talking about AI, I think everybody know here, nothing new here that it is a big thing, especially in higher education for learning, reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. We are looking now like a more data, and then how we can use those data and to get an insight for us. It is hope that with the AI, we are not just like, okay, we will say, I don't have time because we got a lot of work. It's too difficult to write a paper. It's difficult to make a research output or apply for funding or something like that. But it is hope with the AI, it will help us to move forward faster. As we know, in Indonesia, the number of people who are in master or in PhD position are not many, and we are in this era. It is very crucial that we have more and more people doing the research, the real research, not just like taking care of the day-to-day stuff in the university. And there are a lot of people who are afraid, like with the use of technology, actually, like make people, oh, I'm going to lose the job. But actually, this is an opportunity for us to think, okay, well, AI will make my job like maybe 3 times faster, 5 times faster, depending how you work. So I can do more things. I can do more research. I can do better job. So I think that should be like the challenge that we have to do. we can use AI for a different purposes, for helping the students to learn themselves, to empower them, not just like relying on you giving all the materials. Now that all this information on their hand, we need to encourage students to think further. Okay, before in my experience, I have to give them really detailed materials. I take so much of my time to give my students to do for them to be able to learn. Right now, they can access everything. What we need to do is like how actually we can teach the students to have awareness how to use all different kind of technology, especially the generative AI, and the student support. Right, a lot of students, especially in Australia, the international student, the First Nation students, the First Nation is like the indigenous student. They often have a lot of difficulties, like when because it's a lot of a new word, a lot of a new interaction in learning, and which they are not used to. They are not stupid, but it's just like they need a lot of support. The generative AI helps them a lot. We can talk more about this. All this thing, the administrative thing that we usually take so much time, and we can only usually like help 1 or 2 students in 1 hour. We can help a lot of students. So I always talk to my colleague and everybody who are like taking a lot of training from us on AI. This is how, like, this is a strategy. Let's think about the better strategy so you don't feel threatened that we are now using the generative AI for day-to-day teaching and learning activities, because it's actually help you to do more for more people. So when you talk about generative AI, right, we are talking about the content, the output that looks like the human outputs. As explained by Professor Kanabar before, it comes from the large data set that is being trained, right? And if we talk about ChatGPT, that is like the most common tool that we are using. All the data sets, they are coming from, well, September 2021, perhaps. And sometimes it is not really accurate. Even if I'm going to show you later, even the people who are in the who developed the ChatGPT, they tells us, don't ever believe in ChatGPT because it looks like somebody telling you what to do. Like it's somebody telling you very good information, right? But it's not. It's something that you cannot rely on, right? Something that important, but why cannot be relied on? Number one is like the accuracy of the data. Number two, sometimes it doesn't tell you like where it comes from if you don't ask them. If you ask them specifically, they will say, oh, I'm sorry, we just give you this information. So we don't have the capability for doing so. So basically, they got all different kind of information from different kind of books, different kind of materials, and then they put it together. And it's sometimes very general if you do not know how to make the right prompt for asking the right information through the ChatGPT tool. But we cannot neglect that the fact that ChatGPT actually help us a lot, especially when it comes to like the mundane tasks, the generation, giving ideas for us to move forward. So we got a lot of different kind of tools. We got ChatGPT right now that you can see that we use a lot, but we also have used Bard as well. And then we use this Bing as well, which looks like which it looks more, like a fun and more specific in terms of like for you to start giving starting to do the search So what I'm looking at this generative AI is actually looking at how we can use all this data. And as a researcher, how we can actually look at this data from different sources. Sometimes I have to regenerate the data. So I'm looking for a different sources and see which one of them like really stand out, and then what kind of information that repeated several times, what kind of information that is stand out, and then how we can use it for further research. And when we do the further research, we can always use the same tool, or we usually like use other tools that maybe the journals and everything like that. That helps a lot. So I'm going to show you a couple of things like how we do the research, like how we use the ChatGPT. Well, anyway, there are a lot of tools, not just ChatGPT, but actually a lot of tools. And especially when in my background as in design, we do have a lot of activities to get inspiration from the design. So there are a lot of tools that you can actually use for image editing, marketing, text data summarization, the platform, all these things. At least you probably want to try and see how we can use this tool for your purpose. So that was the thing that we discussed before, the worry of having that. But with the ChatGPT, for example, this is like some example that we give to the teachers, right? Sometimes teachers take so much of their time, like, okay, what do we have to do, like in our classroom? And this is how we can use ChatGPT like as a starting point to find about the course online, the learning activities. Of course, once we have done this, what happened in a lot of instances that I know, I look at the work that is being done by teachers or by lecturer, by a lot of people. I check all the information, I check all the text. Maybe I would find like a 99% they are ChatGPT. And that make me sad, right? I let my students to use ChatGPT for them to get inspiration, but not to do the plagiarism, right? So if you use this one as a starting point, it actually make things very quickly. Like I counted, for example, the time, like when you find, okay, what would student needs to do, making the text, and then as mentioned before, like anyone who has been working for as a teacher for many years can still miss, right? But with the ChatGPT, we can get a bigger, not ChatGPT, generative AI, we can get a big coverage, like what needs to be done. So again, it's like this information. This is an example where I usually like a people like using the GPT-0 or zero GPT to really look at like whether whatever they write is right or not. But again, it's like even with the GPT-0 or GPT-0 or zero GPT, sometimes it's not reliable. This is just an example, right? This is my profile that was read before, right? So the first part is like a Unisari is blah, 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 blah. When I wrote this one, I wrote this like a years before ChatGPT, like before I used ChatGPT. But it still says that like a 24.48% is AI GPT. The text is most likely human written, but only to about 25% ChatGPT. And this is like exactly what I said. You cannot rely on even like the check, like GPT check like this, but it helps you to make some of your work done. But there's also what we call is I don't really understand the word yet. I forgot, but it's basically yeah, discernment. That is the word, discernment. You need to really understand, okay, well, is it true or is it not? Should I believe it is or should I not? So that's why we are more clever than all the generative AI, because we can think, we can consider all different aspects that is beyond the text that we can find in front of us. I'm not sure, I don't understand why it goes back here. Okay, so when you talk about research here, we got a couple of research steps: identify problem, evaluate literature, create hypothesis, research design, describe population, data collection, data analysis, and the report writing. We do that in a workshop, but I'm going to show you like a couple of things that we are doing, how we can use generative AI for research. So when we talk, the first one, we talk about problem identification. Sometimes it is the hardest part, like even like in the company, even in the university. Okay, what problem do you want to solve? You want to come up with solution, what problem you want to solve, right? Albert Einstein say, I would use first 55 minutes determining a proper question to ask, right? Now, we can reduce the first 55 minutes into something that is quicker with the presence of the generative AI. As long as we ask the right prompt. So this is an example. We have a team, we have a project about future skills. And then, okay, so we can start like to act as a researcher, what kind of question we need to ask related to future skill. So all the questions is actually there, right? But then we can ask further, like in terms of emerging skill, what question we want to ask, right? And then from this question, this is one of the what technique we call question formulation technique. We make it for broader by changing the open-ended to close-ended and close-ended question to open-ended, vice versa. Why? Because we want to see a problem from different perspective. Once we got all these questions, we basically have all different kind of question. We come up usually like we use the spreadsheet, we listed out all the questions, and then we design with this question, like when we are going to ask, what kind of method we want to use to collect the data. And we just copy things, copy pasting. And then as we are looking at this question, we started to like use our, again, like wisdom and discernment. Do we have to ask this question or not? Right? So we are not missing the question that we want to ask, because sometimes people asking like an interview question, I look at so many like a poor survey question, and like then you know yourself, like if your survey or your instrument is not very good, then it means that you will not get a good insight, right? So this is like when we do report writing, like we got all the data and we do all this report writing. And I never believe in whatever like people do with the ChatGPT, but I still use ChatGPT to help me. Can you please write down 500, 300 word summary about this? And a couple of like version, I try to combine that. And then I'm using like AI tool to check like Grammarly, for example, to check the content. But then after I check the content, I have to redo again, like put this all together. So this is a complex process, especially, but as I know, like this give me, like especially me as the second language speaker, it helps me a lot with my writing, and it make it very, very quick for me. And data analysis. So for example, this is all the data, all the qualitative data I got from the students, for example. And then what do I do with this? Like I use this like a find from this qualitative quotes of the survey, make a summary that consists of several categories, add the quotes as a supporting evidence. So if you just like ask like what do you mean by that, like then you will come up with a paragraph, but you don't really know, you cannot go back with the quote, like who say what can actually, like if you come up with culinary profession, like what is like how many people are actually talking about this. So with this information, I can easily like say, okay, how many people doing this and how many people doing that. So it is really, really interesting, like what we can do so much with the ChatGPT. No, sorry, not just GPT, generative AI. Yeah, so basically with this one, like a lot, I mentioned before, there are a lot of fear, like how we can use this technology for our research. And our company like believe in humanity-centered design. So we are trying to solve other people's problem, and then we are looking at not just like okay, we just design something for you, technology for you. No, we are looking from the humanity point of view. ChatGPT provides you with all this information, but at the end of the day, you are as a human, you are the utmost creation that like you know, our creator have provided, and this is where we are going to use our wisdom to interpret what is going on. We can make interpersonal communication, emotional connection, and motivation. We can connect, so we have a contextual understanding. We have flexibility and adaptability. We have practical experience. And the most important is like we have ethical and social consideration. So again, back to you. You got all the technology. Technology is just a tool, but you can use that for the benefit of your research. Okay, I think that's about it. Like that's what I want to share. There are a lot of things that we can do, a lot of examples, and I'm happy to like to talk with you further about how we can say, for example, there are some workshop about prompting, like how we make the best prompting and generate the best information, and then how we can use ChatGPT for information. And this is the last quote that I want to share with you. It's from Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. ChatGPT is incredibly limited, but good enough at some things to create a misleading impression of greatness. It is a mistake to be relying on it for anything important right now. It's a preview on progress. We have lots of work to do on robustness and truthfulness. So my last message is like don't just believe in whatever you see, but use your wisdom to use whatever like a tool that you have in your hand. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for Dr. Yunisari for the very insightful material for our participants today. As I mentioned before, we will have the first Q&A sessions in between of the speakers. So now we will have the first Q&A session for those who want to ask or give another insight or comment regarding the materials from our two speakers. Please raise your hand or please type on chat box. Okay, we have Aziz.
Sure.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and answer this question. It is, you saw from our presentations here that ChatGPT tells the truth and tells lies. So there's certainly, when we ask exam questions, we should be asking people which of these are 100% true and which of these are not accurate. That's one way to change the kind of homework we ask people. They are going to use ChatGPT, so the best thing we can do is ask them to tell us which appears to be more truthful than the others. The second thing we are doing at Boston University is the second thing we are doing is having people talk to you like as if it's a job interview. All right. So in a job interview, people have to explain concepts. They cannot look at anything. They cannot look at calculators. They cannot look at computers. So you would ask them the same questions, and they have to look at you in the eye and respond. On that basis, you know for sure that they were cheating and not learning. The truth is, at some point, depending on the course, for example, I'm very concerned about the discipline of computer science. Computer science as a discipline can benefit a lot from ChatGPT, but how much do you allow students to use ChatGPT and how? That's a big research problem. I think the whole discipline of computer science is going to need to address. In project management and IT project management, it's not that complex. It's easy for me to ask people simple questions. What is Scrum? Can you explain the difference between Scrum and Kanban? If they cheated, they cannot answer that question. I give students 5 minutes to in the final exam to talk with me. And when they talk with me, I know that they were using ChatGPT excessively. And because of that, I subtract some points for them. Thank you. That's a good question.
Thank you, Dr. Kanabar, for the answer. I think it's answers the question from Ibu Nuri. And previously, we have a raised hand from Aziz. Maybe you will ask direct question. You can open your camera and your microphone.
Okay.
Hello?
Can you hear my voice?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. I'm so sorry because my camera is disabled, so you can see my face. And maybe I have a question, particularly for Dr. Ayunisari. Can you share about your experience in conducting ethnographic research on AI? Because I want to pursue in doctoral degree, and my supervisor asked me, recommended me to do ethnographic research on AI. I need your perspectives or based on your experience, maybe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aziz. I will let Dr. Yunisari to answer the question.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Aziz, for the question. I haven't done specifically like ethnography research on AI, but we have done a lot of ethnography research and use that insight from the ethnography research and then using AI to produce the insight. So I think that's a different thing. But there are many ways for you to do the ethnography research on AI. For example, when we talk about ethnographic, we are talking about people like observing how people use AI, and then you collect the data specifically, like say, for example, you are talking about the making the prompt or making the question. How do you use the data? And that's something that you can always do, and then you can always using the right method, have the right question, and then you can like observe on that and then collect the data on that. That's quite a normal thing, but it's just like the topic is AI. So which one, I'm not really sure which one do you refer to?
Thank you, Bu Yunis. I hope that it's answered for Aziz questions. And there's another question from the participant from Ibu Elis A. You can open your camera, please.
Thank you. Can you hear my voice, Mbak Nini?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Okay, great. Ibu Yunis, thank you for sharing the insightful presentations. My questions is actually relating to a specific project that I had. I just curious, as for example, I want to know about the comparisons of the trend of the media reporting and disaster in Indonesia and Australia. Can AI generated quickly tell us about it. And that for you, Ibu, and for the first speaker, Prof. Kanabar. Actually, my question is not answered yet. It's regarding the critical thinking, whether or not by using the AI will actually lessen the critical thinking of the student. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Alice. For maybe I will offer to Dr. Kanabar first, then we will move to Ibu Yunis.
Yes, thank you. It's a good question. There are people doing research now to answer just exactly the same question. Like I mentioned, it depends on how we position things. If we ask people to give us some insight on the answer that ChatGPT gives, and we persist by asking why a couple of times, I'm sure we can get the students to do critical thinking. But it is a concern if people are simply copying and pasting answers and submitting without doing any serious thinking. Yes, so I think there is a risk that generative AI might impact critical thinking, but a lot of people are doing research on that to validate this hypothesis, whether it's true or not. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kanabar. Then Ibu Yunis.
Yes, thank you, Bu Alice, for the question. Yes, the answer is yes. I always like deal with so many topics that dears to us, dear to me, and then related to what your question to Dr. Kanabar before, because I got a specific research on asking question. We do a lot of workshop on that. And then asking question is like one of the hardest thing actually in the research. And yes, as long as you are able to write to ask the right question and modify your question as you interact with the generative AI, you can find like a quite amount of information that you can use for your research to compare, to really understand. But again, like the time is not always like the time is very crucial, because ChatGPT 3 is only 2021, so you might not get the answer beyond 2021. But maybe you can try Bing, you can also try Bard, you can also try ChatGPT 4. Yeah, so hopefully it helps.
Thank you, Ibu Yunisari and Dr. Kanabar. So I think the question from the chat was already answered by Dr. Kanabar from Ibu Nuri. And now we will move to the next sessions, like the third and the fourth speakers. But before we move, I would like to announce that we have one voucher for the participants that coming on time. For Vivi Harvina, congratulations to for you to win the voucher, 100,000 rupiah book voucher from Buku Baik, and it can be spent in Buku Baik. And we have another voucher for the participant who asked the questions for Bapak Aziz, 100,000 rupiah also that can be spent in Baik, and Ibu Alice. So we already have three vouchers, three book vouchers, and also for Ibu Nuri, we have 100,000 rupiah e-money vouchers. Congratulations. And we have the other speakers. The third speakers, Ibu Eva. Hello, Ibu Eva, are you here with us?
Yes. Hello, Mbak Nini.
Okay. Yeah. Now I move to the third speaker, Ibu Eva Danayanti, co-founder of Indonesian Institute of Journalism. Before I invite Dr. Ibu Eva, then I will read her profile. So Eva Danayanti, co-founder of Indonesian Institute of Journalism, was awarded as USAID Prestasi Scholarship for his master's degree in journalism at University of Colorado Boulder, USA, and took digital humanities as specializations. Currently, she works for International Media Support, or IMS, a non-profit organization based in Denmark, as a country program representative for Indonesia. IMS is non-profit organization working to support local media in countries affected by armed conflict, human insecurity, and political transition. Dr. Ibu Eva Danayanti will talk about artificial intelligence in journalism. So we know that we are exposed to AI not only in academia, but in many fields, including journalism. Time is yours for Dr. Ibu Eva Danayanti.
Yes, thank you so much, Mbak Nini. Hello, everyone. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for my brother, Alan, for the invite me here. And also for the other speakers, it's really nice to agree to hear your thought about this. The same thing also happened in journalism. We also think still in discussion about this, about the AI, how the AI can utilize it in journalism. But first of all, I also want to appreciate, congratulations for the ResearchMate. It's really amazing. It's really nice to have this for the academic purpose. I'm sure this is just beginning, and you must have more challenge and opportunity. It's already waiting for you in the front. So congratulations. Before that, I want to introduce my institution. It is Indonesian Institute for Journalism. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so this institution has founded by journalists, several journalists, who are members the Alliance of Independent Journalists. So we creating this institution. We have learning, we have research also, and also of course training. So any one of you, if also interest in learning journalism, you are very open and welcome for you to join our institution. Besides that, I also work for International Media Support, as mentioned by Mbak Nini, that we are working in development of media and journalists from all over the world. We are working on from more than 50 countries in the world. And one of our focus also including the AI. So we are supporting the small scale media. It's quite the difference with the others. So our focus on how to develop this small scale media to be more advanced, to be more sustainable in the futures. And one of our focus now on AI, we are trying to have some piloting project and also research on how AI can apply for small scale media. Okay, so I think I'll start with the things in what happened in journalism when AI has become favorite things for everyone in this world. So AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, is something that has given journalists new powers, and we are really realize that new powers for discovery, creation, and also connection. We understand that AI has transformed newsroom from linear production into network information and also creating engagement hub. This is something that we are really sure that in journalism, we learn how technology development profoundly affected the changing media environment. So it has contributed to differentiating media channels and platforms that follow and foster individuals' media, we learn how media shifting from the printing to the television, radio, and now become a digital. But what we believe is technology will not replace journalism. It's only foster the transformation of journalism itself. So I think I want to start with how AI currently being used in journalism. There is a global survey of journalism and artificial intelligence conducted by Polis London School of Economic and Political Science on 2019. They surveyed 71 news organizations from 32 different countries. So they found that currently the journalism has used the AI in news gatherings, such like to do the sourcing of information, story idea generation, identifying the trends, investigation, even or issue monitoring, extracting information or contents. And also in part of news production, journalism also has used this, like content creation, editing, packaging format and platform, text, image and creating, repurpose content for different audience, and news distribution also has been used the AI itself for personalization, marketing, finding audience, understanding user behavior, monetization, and so on. So I want to start with the news gathering. So how is the journalism already used the news gathering, news AI in news gathering currently? So news gathering related to AI actually is part of data-driven production cycle. Maybe some of you already heard about the data journalism, data-driven journalism. So this is part of the using of AI. So AI can help gather material, but it also helping editorial to assess what will interest users. Such like, have you heard about the OSIN, open source intelligence? This is also something that has been used by the journalists as part of the investigative reporting. So they use the OSIN technology, which is part of AI also, by gathering some information, by digging the data, and also finding the story. So this is part of journalism context also. And in terms of news gatherings, automated filtering of UGC, user-generated contents. This is something that if you see like comment and after the news, something like that, so it's part of generated content, UGC. This is also a kind of like type of AI that can help journalism. So AI help to crawl the content from official sources and also public social media. And AI programs can categorize information or material at scale from different purposes, like API, image recognition. So API, application program interface, for analytic and journalism, gender, age, and image, gender in text. We also use that. Journalism also use that too, by using AI to image recognition. And the others also, but the neural network for photo tagging, this is quite famous, and natural language sentiments. Journalism also use this in gathering the information. Story discovery is also made possible by machine learning currently. So the machine learning algorithms help journalists to spot the trends and facts, and also remain some hidden for human eyes. So we can find that by using the AI itself. When speaking about news production, yes, we already use AI in terms of news production. Let me show you one of the news from one of local media in Indonesia. So they are using AI in produce a video. So this is Babat ID. Babat ID is one of the local media based in West Java, and they are already applied AI in producing video content. So maybe you can see this.
Weton Rabu Wage dianggap sebagai hari yang penting dan mempengaruhi nasib seseorang. Banyak orang yang mempercayai Primbon Jawa untuk mengetahui pekerjaan yang cocok untuk Weton Rabu Wage. Nah, dalam video ini kita akan membahas beberapa pekerjaan yang dipercayai cocok untuk Weton Rabu Wage menurut Primbon Jawa. Mari kita simak video selengkapnya. Weton Rabu Wage termasuk tipe orang yang tekun dan bersungguh-sungguh dalam meniti karirnya. Nah, bagi kamu yang lahir dengan Weton Rabu Wage, pasti bertanya-tanya apa pekerjaan yang cocok. Weton Rabu Wage memiliki jumlah neptu 11. Rinciannya Rabu 7 dan Wage 4. Kitab Primbon Jawa Betal Jemur ada makna menyarankan orang yang lahir pada hari Rabu sebaiknya bekerja di pengadilan atau di dunia seni tarik suara. Betal Jemur ada makna memiliki perhitungan untuk menentukan pekerjaan atau mata pencaharian yang cocok untuk Weton Rabu.
So you can continue to watch their video. There's a lot of video production that they are produced using AI. So this is one of the application of AI in news production. This is also something that we are working with the media and journalists. In terms of the using AI, we are not part of creating the AI itself, but we are trying to how to use AI, how to develop the mechanism, how to develop the workflow in using AI. So for instance, like the video, like you already watched before, this is something that we are trying to approach how to integrate several AI to produce a news story. So it's not on. If you see that the announcer is using AI. It's not the person. So maybe some of the news announcer already changed by using the AI like this. So it's only like his photos, one of the announcer photos, and then they're using AI to put the sound and also the voiceovers and including also the material. If you see the material, the content and in that videos, we call it evergreen content. So this is something like AI very useful for the journalisms by creating evergreen content. The content that can be you can read anytime. It won't be you don't have to keeping update for the content, but just producing this kind of content. So that's one of the example actually how the AI can produce the news gathering. Let me continue. So this AI also have a function in news production and help the process to content to create it like at granular level. For instance, like help to check the grammar, spelling for English articles, and also translation duties. Now several news organizations already apply that, and it's really helpful, especially for the small scale media who do not have a lot of resources. AI also has been used as a verification tools, such like claim detection. So we use machine learning to help separate claims from other sentences. This really helps journalist fact checkers in deciding what to check each day, something like that. And then also robo checking is also automatically checking claims against the database and information. Of course, also about AI auto tagging. This is AI for automatic tagging of content that automatically extracting keywords, topic, entities like person and places. So we use this for using the news production. AI also has enables automated content creation. So often from social media, by using an algorithm for media posts on social media, kind of like starting from RSS feed or from email that can write posts on Facebook and tweets. It also manipulates the text, publishes updates, schedule time, and sends email and reminders also for our cross posting. AI also has applied in news distribution. So AI tools can reduce toxicity and promote more engaging interaction. With AI network, journalism is not always a clear distinction between content creation and consumption. So content creation is something that journalists and newsroom produce, and then the consumption is the audience who take it when it's already published. For example, AI powered comment moderation. So it adds content, but it also a vital way to engage readers. Human moderation of user comment was laborious, but AI tools can reduce the toxicity and promote more engaging interaction. Many newsrooms also reported that they were adopting this more holistic personalization approach with AI technology to improve the quality of the user experience, such like personalized system that use real-time data to recommend article to user based on the various factors, or use some machine learning algorithm such as collaborative filtering to score articles. However, the system is also have quite a simple rules. So an article will receive a lower score the more a user has already seen it. So this is the technology that already used to recommend content as well as to deliver personalized campaigns. So we believe that in AI impact is still wide range things, especially also in journalism. But the profound influence that we are agreeing on journalism is how the journalism content made and consumed. It is something that algorithm, for example, like algorithm bias. This is something that also become our concern. One of the impact from the using AI in journalism, because bad use of data could lead to editorial mistakes, such inaccuracy or distortion, and even discrimination against certain social groups or views. Yeah, but in other way, journalists also has using AI because you know that it's really helpful for AI that can make journalists more efficient, deliver more relevant contents, improve business efficiency also. When we are talking about human labor, so you can reduce more a bit on that. AI also has impact on enhancement of editorial decision and transparency. So AI can help correct old newsroom bias and increase the diversity of stories and audience. So it's also promote the transparency around the use of AI and journalism in general. Something also has become the impact of AI to journalism is about misinformation or filter bubbles. So AI can help the spread to spread a fake news. Crude use of personalization can make confirmation bias or conflict worse probably. But we believe that well-managed AI can help counter misinformation and improve the quality of public information. Indeed, we have so many challenges in applying AI for journalism. First is about newsroom will have to adapt to new forms of editorial authority and trust. AI will power the way information and debate happens, though often not through the news media. So newsroom will have to adapt to new forms of editorial authority and trust. So this is something that's still in discussion in journalism things. AI have like high value in certain areas such as audience engagement, like I said before, story discovery, labor efficiency, but some of the possible use, such automated translation and text generation, may enable also leaps forward into the new areas of journalism, marketing, and product development. So this is something that we need to resolve in terms of the capacity of the media of the journalist itself. With we also thinking that too much dependency on third parties and lack of internal resources to pretend to be ready, because we are users. We are not directly creating the AI itself, like you did by ResearchMate. So we only kind of like match and how we can use this kind of AI to produce video, to produce like article or something like that. It's mean that journalism will make us too much dependency on the third party, and not all AI is free. Some of them also we have to pay if we want to get it more exclusive for the news story, something like that. AI is new, so yeah, you know that mass organization is not already. They need to build the knowledge also and skills. In terms like my experience with the local media, it is very hard for them to understanding, and then it's not all of them has capacity to that. So one of the challenge for media community on how to increase the capacity of the journalist itself. And maybe some of you from the academician also can think about that when you have some student from journalism or communication. So this is something that should be thought can be part of your curriculum. So next, your graduation can follow the development of AI, and then ready to be part of this community. Yeah, I think I'm just quite a bit have some comment on the ResearchMate, just thinking on the journalism context, because this is very great innovation. It also the same thing like in news gatherings. We also need something like this, but we still have some concern that about the data updated. As you know that Bu Yunis also mentioned about the updating of ChatGPT only until 2021. So this is really hard. So for the journalists, we can use that on for the all the gathering information. So only for the background is fine, but for the updated, it's maybe we have to put it more on this. And also about the algorithm bias, that also the things that we are I mentioned and above, it's also become a problem. So you have to also think about this. and of course the misinformation. So I'm just thinking that probably if we have something like you did on ResearchMate, you just want to make sure that you show the mechanism, how it's work, transparency to your users, then it can help a lot for the user, like especially for like media and journalist community. This is only some suggestion. So I'm not sure, but maybe if it's possibly it can also be can be applied also for the journalists to find this initial story before we are going through to the real story. So last thing, and just like in journalism, we believe that AI is new powers. Now we already start to use the new powers. So it's mean that we have to accept that the new responsibility by using these new powers. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ibu Eva, for the presentation regarding AI in journalism. Now we will have the last speakers from the representation from Gen Z. We have Zafran Ahmadiri Arif, the Secretary General of PPI Dunia. But before I invite Zafran, I would like to remind to all the speakers that we to all the attendees that we will have the presentation from the ResearchMate, because this is the soft launch of ResearchMate platform and AI-driven research proposal advisors. Before I invite Savran, I would like to read his profile. So Savran accomplished his bachelor degree of science in applied mathematics in Washington State University, Pullman, in December 2022, and currently he is working in Washington State State University, dairy microbiology lab assistant from 2022 until now. He also worked at Bank Negara Indonesia, New York, in 2021, and now he is serving as the Secretary General of PPI Dunia. For Zafran Arif, time is yours.
All right, thank you so much for the introduction. Hi everyone. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay, I think you guys can already see my screen as of now. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon in Indonesia and good evening from the United States. My name is Zafran. I was the Indonesian delegate in the 42nd ASEAN Summit in Labuan Bajo, and also the Secretary General of PPI Dunia, or Overseas Indonesian Student Associations Alliance. First of all, I'd like to congratulate for the soft launch of ResearchMate and for inviting me. Thank you so much. So for today, I want to talk about AI in specific, but we'll discuss more about the digital transformation itself. Because when we talk about AI, we also need to talk about the steps before it, like what's before AI, and what do we need to do to utilize the AI itself. And because I'm the representative of Gen Z here, as mentioned by the MC, I also like to talk about what role should we take as Gen Z in this era. Okay, so for me, I think Gen Z is the spearhead of digital transformation. Why? Because there is 213 million ASEAN youth, which range from 15 to 34 years old. But sadly, 6 out of 10 of them didn't receive proper education regarding digital literacy. There's like some of them don't even know what AI is or how to utilize AI, and this is really concerning. And because of that, the ASEAN member states are left behind by the developed countries in the West. And when we have the data here, I took this data from Wiley Gap Index about digital skills among populations. And because I'm from Indonesia, I will specifically talk about Indonesia and countries in ASEAN. There's only 2 countries in ASEAN that is considered in top 10 rank, which is Singapore with 9.3 points and Malaysia with 8.6, whereas Indonesia, we lie at the 52nd ranked out of 134 countries. And it is really concerning because Indonesia is a really great country. It is a really big country, and there's a lot of people in Indonesia. There's a lot of youth in Indonesia, and we need to harness the skills of Indonesian youth so that we can challenge those countries and we can be in top 10, just like Singapore or Malaysia. And also here, I would like to share with you guys a little information about what we discussed in the ASEAN Summit, because back then in May, me and President Jokowi and the other head of states of ASEAN countries, we discussed about digital transformation in specific. And let's divide it into 3 different categories. The first one is infrastructure, second one is education, and the third one is cybersecurity. And I don't know if President Jokowi already shared this with you guys, but I wanted to share it with you. First one, infrastructure. The first infrastructure that we need is electricity, of course. And I don't think it's an issue anymore in Indonesia or any other countries, because a lot of places in this world already have electricity. But the second one is mostly a problem in many countries, the proper internet connectivity. Because not every area in Indonesia or any other countries have good internet connectivity. And it is really concerning because a lot of stuffs right now, we really need to use internet to socialize and to get information from the world. Because if we don't have the internet, or if we just have like a really weak internet connectivity, it will be a liability for us. So like a good internet connectivity is really important for our life. The third one is public facility. With all these 3 infrastructure, we are entering the modern era, or we already entered the modern era, where we can shop online through Tokopedia or Amazon or other marketplace in the internet. People don't need to go shopping anymore to the mall or to the other places like markets or something. There's a lot of e-commerce out there, and we can just stay home, bring our phone, and then just type whatever we want to buy, and we'll get it. And also a public facility such as maps in the mall or in the public transits is really important. This my sister back in Seattle in the United States. I think it was in 2020 or 2021. I forgot. And this is a map of a mall there in Seattle, and I don't see many types of this kind of map in Indonesia, because it is very important. You can just type it, you can just search what you want over there, and this is me and my sister looking through the map. And also, I still remember when I was in elementary school and when I was in middle school, I need to buy tickets to get into the train, and I need to stay in the line. I need to, do all of the traditional stuff just to use the public transport. But now in Indonesia, we can just use the card to tap and enter the train, and it is really good. And about the internet, this is one of the infographics from ASEAN Urbanis, and Indonesia is currently ranked number 10 in mobile internet performance with 17.26 Mbps speed, and the fixed broadband we're in the 8 with 23.32. And to be honest, it is very, very low, because in the United States itself, me here, I can get up to 40 or 50 Mbps. And when I go back to Indonesia, it's kind of, it's really hard to access anything in Indonesia, because the internet connectivity is very, very, very slow. And also our minister is not really concerned about it. And it is very sad, to be honest. And also, you might be asking, why are we talking about infrastructure? Why don't we talk about AI itself? Well, then, this is the outcome of proper infrastructure before we talk about AI. We can access the education by having a proper infrastructures, like here in Harvard. They already have these online classes where, well, not only Harvard, but all of the universities in the United States. We already have online classes where the professor can come to class and the students will be from everywhere, and it is very normal, even before the pandemics back in 2020. And not only education like formal classes and everything, we can also use the internet or the other infrastructure to access the courses or the certifications from Coursera, from Google certificates, and so on. And also access to government service. Digital transformation is really important to us, so that we can access government service easily. Because here's one of the example. This is the website of Department of Licensing in Washington. Whenever I want to grab my driver's license, or get one, or maybe renew my driver's license, or maybe just change the address to driver's license, I can just log into this website and ask for a replacement for my driver's license and so on. Whereas in Indonesia, we still need to go to I don't know where to go in Indonesia, maybe the police office. But yeah, it is very complicated in Indonesia, that you need to go there and then do a lot of paperwork and stuff, and it is very concerning. But if we have the good infrastructure, we can access the government services easily by using our mobile devices. And also, access to online healthcare like Halodoc or any other online healthcare that is available in the internet. Because whenever we have this like light or mild sickness, we didn't want to go to the doctor. We didn't want to go to the hospital because it will cost us that too much. And because of this innovation, we can just ask the doctors by phone, or we can just type whatever we want to ask, and then the doctor will reply. But of course, when we want to get a proper diagnosis, we need to go to the hospital. The next one is connecting people. Of course, I have friends all over the world. Like in PPI Dunia itself, we are spread into 65 countries in the world, and I have friends from all of those 65 countries. And also in ASEAN itself, when we met in Labuan Bajo back then in May, I still have friends. I still connect to people from Malaysia, from Philippines, from Myanmar. And without internet or without the proper infrastructure, I cannot talk with them. And that's why it is very important for me. And the most important one is people's rights and needs are satisfied. People can get education, people can get the access to government services, people can get access to online healthcare and so on. And even people can, get stuff from the internet, like what I said before, do online shopping and stuff like that. And of course, simpler life with all of this infrastructure. Next, when we talk about the education, we need to have comprehensive digital literacy education, starting from like school level, like middle school or even elementary school, and also in university level, but also in the family level. Parents need to introduce the digital literacy to their child, because as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, Gen Z is the future of the world. we are the spearhead of the digital transformation itself. If we don't know anything about the digital transformation or digital literacy, how can we change the world? How can we prepare ourselves to face the modern era? And that's really important. And the second one is workshop to develop digital skills, and the third one is how we utilize the digital tools. As the previous speaker already talked about AI, like they create this AI, they use ChatGPT to increase their productivity. They use AI to do a lot of cool stuff in their lives and help them with their work. And we really need to force our students. We need to tell our students, the youth, to how to utilize those digital tools itself, like AI and stuff like that. For example, here in the United States, we have student dashboards. This one is from my campus. It's called Canvas, where the professor can, upload assignments, upload the recordings of the class meetings, and etc. And the students can just download the assignments and then do it and then upload it again. And then the professor will also check on the assignment on the website and then just grade them on there. And it is so easy and it is very helpful. I don't know if Indonesia already applied this, because back when I was in Indonesia, when I was studying in Indonesia, we always have these papers to turn in the homeworks, and I cannot imagine how those professors, bring the stacks of papers and bring to their office and grade it manually. Because with digital stuff, it's very easy. You can just click on stuff, click on some things, and it will pop up the grades. And also, like I mentioned earlier, long range classes. This one of the example in my class, and this picture was from today. As you can see, there are students in the class, but there are no professor in this class. Usually, in the normal class, there is professor and there is students and there's tables, there's chairs, and etc. But here, there is no professor in the class. The professor is in other cities, and this long range class is connecting 3 cities, which is Pullman, Everett, and Vancouver, where the professor was in Everett, and that's why he wasn't in class. And it is actually pretty effective to tackle the issue of universities having lack of professors. And it is also very nice that I can know people from other cities in the United States that are in the same class as me. And also, of course, the utilizations of AI to help us as students in doing our assignments or like summarize an article, stuff like that. The thing is, ChatGPT at first was very helpful to me, like several months ago when I put mathematical problems in there. It was the linear algebra problems, and it can solve the problems pretty good. But nowadays, I don't know what happened, but it always gives me false answers, and I cannot rely on it anymore. But as the previous speaker said, we need to know how to utilize this tool properly. We need to know what prompt do we need to use. How can we ask the ChatGPT properly? Like, we cannot just ask, "Hey, ChatGPT, solve this problem for me." That's not gonna work. You need to what you call it? You need to teach the ChatGPT first before you ask the question. So let's say we are asking about the mathematical problems. You need to tell the ChatGPT about the definition of the mathematical problems. You need to tell the ChatGPT of how people usually approach this problem, or how people usually solve this problem. And then the ChatGPT knows what to do, and we can ask the problems after that. And that is actually my my tips for you guys on how to use ChatGPT. But I don't know if I know people have different styles and different stuff to ask, but that is my style to ask ChatGPT. And also I read one of the comments before, and cheating, like a lot of students are cheating using AI right now, and it is very concerning. I know that But I know, yeah, cheating is bad, especially using AI to cheat. But here in the States, we are encouraged to use AI or ChatGPT to do our assignments. Why? Because it helps us. It will helps us like 10 times faster in doing our assignments. But the thing is, we need to know exactly what we are doing. Like from the first speaker said, when students cheat, he will know because in the finals, he would ask the students to explain it to him orally, verbally. And I think students, they can use the AI to help them with their assignments or their exams, but maybe the professors here can also ask them like what does this really mean in their assignments or in their exams to know whether they are cheating or not. And also people have different styles of approaching problems, especially in mathematics. There are a lot of ways to approach problems in mathematics and find a solution in mathematics. And the professor will know, and we as students also know that this person and that person have different styles in approaching the mathematical problems. So using ChatGPT or any other AI sources is a bad idea because the professor will know immediately that you are cheating because that is not your style. So what's the point of cheating using AI if you don't know what you're doing? Next one is workshop. Why do we need a lot of workshops or trainings in order to achieve a proper digital transformation? And here's why. I took it from the World Economic Forum, and top 10 skills in 2025 are this, and I highlighted 3 of them. Which the first one is complex problem solving, the second one is technology use, monitoring and control, and the third one is technology design and programming. Those 3 are really connected to technology, and they are really important to us. So that's why we need to learn technology itself. We need to learn the digital literacy in order to get those skills, in order to achieve the things that we want to have, like technology use. We cannot just rely on our current information and knowledge to achieve the skills of using a technology and controlling the technology. No, we need to learn more, and we need to have a proper digital literacy in order to get those skills. And also in the job demand itself, there are a lot of stuff using AI, using data science, data analytics, and it makes me how do you say it? I'm sorry. You know that when something is really important and you don't know how to express it, but you know that it is that important. So this is what's happening with me right now. So the thing is, a lot of jobs in the world will use technology and AI, and we cannot run from it, and we have to face it. And that's why we need those 10 skills here in order to get these 10 jobs in the future. And that's why the Gen Z needs to know about the AI and the other digital stuff. And this is a really interesting question for me. AI, is it a threat or an opportunity? For me, if we can use it effectively, AI could be one of the most powerful tools to increase our productivity. Like, don't think of AI like a mean robot from Terminator or RoboCop or something like that. AI is here to help us. AI is here to increase our productivity. And for me, AI is just another calculator, another Google, another smartphone, another internet. At first, we might think that it is very threatening. It is very scary to think about world dominated by AI. Like, we don't get jobs anymore. We don't have stuff to do because AI already take over our life. It's not. Just like calculator. At first, people, I guess they despise the calculator because it considered as cheating. Like when I was in elementary school, I used calculator to do my assignments, and my teacher would say that, hey, you don't use calculator, you're cheating. But now, when I don't use calculator, I'm a mathematician. If I don't use calculator, I'll be dead for real, because a lot of mathematical problems need calculator to solve, and it's just impossible to not use calculator to solve mathematical problems. And also, just like smartphone, about the privacy, about the things people back then, I still remember that people were scared about smartphone, about Google, and about the internet. And I think it is just same for the AI right now. We need to look at AI the same as we look at calculators, Google, smartphone, or any other stuff that's new. It's just another new things in our life. And if we can utilize it properly, then it is helpful for us. And here are some helpful or useful AI tools that you guys can use based on the categories. If you want to ask anything, go to ChatGPT, and yeah, it is not updated as of now. It's only updated until September 2021. If you want to write anything, use Write-Sonic and so on. And also one of my favorite is Midjourney, where you can just type anything and it will pop out into a beautiful art. Like you can just type a tiger in the garden and it will give you an image of tiger in the garden, a very beautiful image. And it is very cool. And also, if you guys are in the companies and you are an analyst or something like that, there's an AI called Rose.com here, which is very useful to so that you don't need to like type formulas on Excels anymore, and it is very, very useful. Last thing I would like to talk about is the cybersecurity. Of course, when we talk about digital literacy, digital transformation, digital stuff, the security will always be there to be one of the problems for us. And the first thing that led us to data breach or any other stuff is poor cyber hygiene. Maybe it's the first time for you guys to hear about cyber hygiene, but cyber hygiene is when you like personal hygiene, let's say. If you don't want to get a virus on your hand, if you don't want to infect it with bacteria, like evil bacteria, you would wash your hand, you would take a shower, you would clean your room, and etc. Same as computer, same as your smartphone. If you want to have a proper environment in your smartphone, if you don't want any malware, if you don't want any hacker to get into your phone, you need to check the hygiene of your phone. Not the hygiene like the physical hygiene, but the things inside it. You need to change your password like every 2 months or 3 months, so that the hacker cannot know the password. You can't guess your password easily.
I'm sorry, Safran. Maybe we ran out of time, so maybe it can be shortened.
Okay, yeah, sure. It's already last slide. Okay, so yeah, that is the poor cyber hygiene. And also, computer virus, as I said before, data breach also is very concerning right now because a lot of data are breached. Social engineering, this is one of the most important, and I really need like 1 or 2 minutes on this one because social engineering is very concerning right now. Even though we have a very good system, a very good security system, we need to remember that humans are the weakest link in the security supply chain. If you have like this 45-character password with numbers, with symbols, and with uppercase, lowercase letters, but then you tell someone that you have this password, that guy can access your profile, that guy can access your account. That's why don't ever give your password or any vital information of yourself to other people, because social engineering is real and it is very concerning. And if you guys want to know about social engineering, there's a really good book about it. It is called The Art of Human Hacking, and it is a very good book. And also fraud and scam. There's a lot of scams in this world, especially in Indonesia. There's 130,000 scams cases in Indonesia back in 2022. And it is really concerning because of the social engineering itself. There's a lot of frauds, there's a lot of scams from online shopping and etc. We need to be careful on that. And also Gen Z's role, we need to understand digital literacy itself. We need to understand the AI. We need to understand all of that stuff. We need to have those skills. Why? Because we need to teach the elders. We need to teach our parents. We need to teach the other people about digital literacy. Because when the government or the stakeholders want to create this good environment of having digital transformation, but when the people don't know what to do with it, or the people don't know about it, then what's the point of the transformation itself? And if we do all of that, we can be the change catalyst of the digital transformation. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoy my presentation. Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Zafran, for
Back to the
the
MC.
hello. Thank you very much, Zafran, for the insightful perspective from Gen Z representative. And now we will have the second Q&A. Please, guys, if you have a question, maybe we only have 2 questions because we already ran out of time. All right, we already have the question from the chat box. The first from Elise, Ibu Elise, you're from UAD, Indonesia. As a lecturer, I'd like to explore the potential research avenues linked to your presentation. This is for Ibu Eva. For instance, could researchers access comprehensive data sets of newspapers on specific topics, such as disaster, with the help of AI generated? If it's feasible, how to do that, and what would you suggest for researchers to do research on journalism studies related to the data sets of AI generated? And the second, could you please elaborate on the importance of original work of the journalists in the era of AI technology? And there is a question from Nurul, a freelancer from Indonesia. AI is helpful to our work, and also the words and sentences from AI almost sound like people talk. Can we know the difference what journalists and AI written? Please, Ibu Eva, can you maybe answer the questions from the participants?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Bu Alice. So for the first question, I think yes, we've did, and also I also experienced this before. So scrolling data set from by using kind of AI, but you also can use like a Python. Python also you can use this. There are like beautiful soap or newspaper apps, and you can use this data tools to scrolling newspaper data set. So you can grab all the data by using these tools, and then you can analyze and also then get the story from that. So probably is some maybe you can try to check out today this kind of tools. And I thought there is also so many tools in terms of the data scrolling, and we are using this the tools in data journalism. So about the journalism, I think I just want to pull out about we knew that AI now AI is become more powerful, and there's so many sector from politics to medicine. They're using AI, but we believe that the world still need good journalism more than ever, I think. So this is, I mean, this is the important role for journalism to still provide the good journalism in this term area. So journalism can be kind of like have a critical role in the healthy development of this AI environments. We really value journalism as social good provider, something like that. So it's something that humans creating by humans and for human. Thinking of how is journalism can become like a role model for how to use AI in the terms way, such like producing good quality content with the processing of the journalism way, journalism value that's put human as the values, and also reduce the potential harms, it's kind of like bias and misinformation, disinformation. So this is something that journalism can still have a critical role on this. And I continue for the next question about the, can we know the difference both journalists and AI written? So I think it's about the produce, right? About the content itself. So you can see about the human failures. This is something that I couldn't touching. For instance, like in storytelling, when there's a reporting on story, a new story on storytelling, the human's failures must be on that. Even though that the journalists using the AI, but still the human failure is still that they updated the story, but behind that, many kind of things that journalists already use in terms of AI, like producing multimedia reporting, mobile journalism, data journalism, but still the human's failure is still there. So it can be replaced with any AI. I think that's my response.
Thank you very much, Ibu Eva, for the answer. Now we will have the launch of the ResearchMate. And I would like to remind to all the participants that after the presentation from the ResearchMate team, we will have the quiz that we will have vouchers for some participants that can answer questions related to ResearchMate presentations today. So I would also give the voucher for Ibu Nurul, who have give the questions for in the second Q&A session. You can send the email to ResearchMate team. So I would like to offer to the ResearchMate team, the founder and the co-founders, to present and launch and softly launch the ResearchMate, an AI-driven platform. Please.
Thank you very much, Banini. You are a great moderator and also MC. So guys, we are our time now because we want to introduce a little bit about ResearchMate. Fabi, I, and Andre, my team as well, will try to show what we have in our website and what we can do for you all. And Andre will demonstrate how to use the AI advisor in our website. So generally, we have not only AI advisor or generator, but also we have and provide online class and consultant and assistance. So you can see here in the second slide, because we concerned about how to increase the capacity of our lecturer and student in around the world who hard to get an idea how to be up the idea for research proposal and article, and also some training and workshop are very expensive, while the salary is not enough for covering that events. So that's why we provide all these features. And just show you a little bit the roadmap of ResearchMate, like noticed earlier by our founder Samsu Alam. So on May this year, we initiated the idea, and June we tried to compete on LPDB Indonesia. We got 5 top in regional Sulawesi, and July is the probably we can say the achievement, a lot of achievement we got, because we can discuss with Alex from Western Australia, database and artificial intelligence, in Curtin Uni with Maya, and also we got a new member, talented and a great young man from Boston University, Andre, and we also have discussed about AI regulation in Indonesia with the National Research and Innovation Agency, or we call BRAIN. So basically, we would like to work together, encourage all people who concern on AI, especially to our government in Indonesia to prepare soon AI regulation, because for us it's really important to have it. And in August, we started to set up AI in our website, and again, for all people, audience who have tried the website. And also we had a good discussion with our chancellor, Curtin University, Professor John Yord. He gave us a lot of advice how to prevent from the cheating provider, and also how to follow the academic contract. So now we really open call to all of you who concern of to concern about the ResearchMate, especially if you have any capacity for helping people who write the scientific article or research proposal in any field. Please call us, join with us, and also investor, because as you know, we want to give the ResearchMate services affordable for everyone in the world. And also we open for collaborator, individually or a group like uni, whatever. And because I got a lot of insight from you all guys, probably we will make AI Indonesian community if you agree. So after this event, we will make that community if you are happy. Okay, now I want to jump to my team. My brother, Andre, please come and show how AI work in our website.
All right, thank you, Mas Asim. Hello, everyone. I'm Andre. I'm a student at Boston University, and my role in ResearchMate is as a software engineer. So let me share my screen over here. And today we're going to try one of the service at ResearchMate, which is the Research Proposal Advisor. Okay, I think we can try it together. I will type the URL in the chat box, and you can put it in your browser, in your Google Chrome or Firefox. And let's see. So after you type the URL in your browser, you will see this interface. This is our main interface. So let's get going. So let's say I have a research and I want to research about artificial intelligence, but I don't know where to start. So let's put our topic in this text area. So for example, I want to research about artificial intelligence in Indonesia. Okay, and then just click go. So you will face this terms and conditions pop up. So by accepting this terms and condition, you will adhere to the like ethics of research. So basically in ResearchMate, we always support and encourage ethics in research. We want you to be responsible and strongly advise everyone to follow research moral and ethics guideline. Okay, and after you read and understand the terms and conditions, you can click the green button over here, which state that you are understand and agree with the terms and conditions of using our service. Okay, so while waiting for the proposal to be generated, let's dig into how this process works. So basically, ResearchMates are integrating the ChatGPT as the backend. So we can say the ChatGPT is one of the most advanced AI right now, and it supports almost every academic field and could generate thousands of words within a single prompt. But however, please remember that ChatGPT is not going to do your research. This is only to brainstorm the idea and how you do your research and what to do to begin your research. Again, please be responsible when using the service. Okay, let's wait for the proposal to be generated. Oh, there we go. So this is the example of the generated proposal. This is the advice from ChatGPT on how the topic, the title, and so on. So, okay, let's break it down. So, of course, there is a topic in every research. There is a title, background, and context. So ChatGPT will give us what to explore in background or in the context. Okay, there are several points over here, and then the literature review. We could see that there are 5 more points that we could explore, and then moving on to the theoretical, conceptual, and methodological gap. There is something that we can deep dive, like analyze existing research and address the limitation and weakness, and propose new theoretical and conceptual framework, which is very important while doing your research. And then the theoretical framework, it states like two points over here to develop incorporates relevant theories and concept of AI, and discuss how this framework can be applied to get the research and analysis in the study. So even the ChatGPT is advising you to discuss the topic to maybe a professor or another advisor. And it also gives you the aims and objectives of the research, what are the research questions, and then the significance or the impacts of your research, and what kind of methodology that you can use. For example, you can use a combination of qualitative and quantitative approaches. And then research design, participants, if you are going to do a survey, data collection, data analysis, even the ethics itself. And also, it also gives you a warning that you have to add relevant references to support your research proposal, because references is everything, and we want to encourage you to give every references that you have. And also, we give a plagiarism warning over here on the top of the result. So you cannot copy result directly from this generative AI, because it will be counted as a plagiarism. Okay, so this is, you must be responsible for any action that you will do by using the service. Okay, let's go back to the result. So let's say you're not satisfied with this result. You want to be more specific. So we provide another feature here. So if you're not satisfied with the proposal, you can add more topic, but I think it's more specific. For example, what was our topic? Artificial intelligence. Yeah. For smart city, for example. This is a very specific topic, and let's see if ChatGPT could generate a better solution for our research. So, as we can see in the screen before, it generated a complete research proposal with several sections, from background and literature review, even to ethics. And you can go through each section one by one and see which one you think are best suited to your proposal. But yeah, after I have to give you announcement. So basically, one of the most frequent feedback that we got is the support for Bahasa Indonesia. So for Indonesian student and researcher, we are happy to announce that we have supported Bahasa Indonesia for the research proposal advisor. So basically, you can input you can input the topic in Bahasa Indonesia, and you will also get the result in Bahasa Indonesia. So this is one of the proof that ResearchMate are committed to help researchers in Indonesia to be able to compete in the global research environment. Okay, so I think, oh yeah, the result is here, and it will provide the same sections, but with more specific background and context, as we give context for a smart city, and it will also provide context from smart city, and the rest is history. As you can see here, even the significance and the methodology is all updated to the new topic. Yeah, I think that wraps up our service. I hope you can try it on your own. Go to researchmate.com and have fun with your research. Thank you. Back to you, Mbak Nini.
Thank you, Mas Hashim and Mas Andre, and also Mas Alan. It's a wonderful presentation, new innovation from our young researchers studying abroad, and give opportunity for the researchers and academia in Indonesia to go global with their boosted research proposal. Before we have the quiz, for launch, we will have the Q&A ResearchMate platform. And could you please raise your hand? Anyone wants to ask about ResearchMate? Would you please type on chat box or raise your hand? If we don't have any questions, we will move to the quiz for the vouchers. Okay, you, Bapak Cornelius Siki,
Halo.
you can open your camera. Yes, Bapak.
Oh yeah.
Please, you can ask whether in Bahasa Indonesia or in English, wherever you feel more convenient.
Yes. Thank you for the chance. I would like to ask to Mr. Andre. Hello, Mr. Andre. We are in 1PK 1986 LPDP. So I would like to ask, is it free for long term, or will free for a while? I mean, sorry.
This is an important question, Mas Andre. Would you please answer from the future customers of the ResearchMate?
Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, Pak Cornelius Siki. We meet again. It's nice to see you again. So to answer your question, so basically right now we are thinking about making the ResearchMate free for now, but in the future we will make it like a subscription based, but we also consider to be affordable, because our focus is to bring more researcher in Indonesia. So we have to make sure that the costs will be cheap, affordable for researcher in every province in Indonesia. So it's free for now. So yeah, if you want to use it now.
All right, thank you. So if it's free, for how long? Because at the moment I start to use it, and I still on progress in my proposal. I'm using this ResearchMate. It's very good, helpful.
Oh, is it unlimited for now, Mas Andre?
Yeah, for now it's still unlimited, and I think for the paid version, it will be maybe several weeks from now, Pak Cornel. So yeah, maybe you can use it
Right,
freely.
thank you.
Okay. I will
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mas Alan.
please,
Okay.
Pak Alan.
Alright, Pak Cordel ya kita satu batch ya. Oke, thank you for the question ya. Nah, ini juga kita akan pikirkan, tapi intinya bahwa kita akan kalaupun berbayar ya enggak banyak, dan ini juga saya sampaikan kepada teman-teman akademisi di Indonesia ya, bahwa kita juga akan membuka kolaborasi dengan universitas nantinya. Jadi kalau misalnya ada universitas atau bisnis yang menggunakan, kita open, dan we are Dan kita juga open kepada teman-teman yang mempunyai kemampuan atau expertise di riset, misalnya bisa Python, bisa bisa SPSS dan sebagainya. Kita akan invite nanti untuk bergabung di ResearchMate menjadi konsultan. Jadi kita akan ada konsultan dan juga akan kita hire teman-teman atau invite teman-teman untuk bergabung jadi konsultan. Jadi kita akan memadukan antara AI dan human dan non-human. Jadi ini mungkin keunggulan dari ResearchMate dibandingkan dengan website lain karena kita tetap mengutamakan human. Jadi kalau ada teman-teman yang berminat, tunggu informasinya. Kita akan melibatkan teman-teman akademisi untuk bergabung menjadi konsultan di ResearchMate. Oke, thank you. Mungkin itu saja tambahan dari saya.
It's wonderful. So, jadi kita menyadari bahwa artificial intelligence cannot fully replace human brain. Jadi ResearchMate hadir menggabungkan antara artificial intelligence and human brain. Ada lagi pertanyaan mungkin dari partisipan? Kalau misal tidak ada, kita akan move to the quiz. Jadi kita akan ada quiz. Voucher juga ya buat Pak Cornelius. Ada voucher senilai 50.000 untuk Pak Cornelius. Nanti silakan dihubungi tim ResearchMate-nya. Baik, kita akan move to the quiz. Kita akan ada 3 pertanyaan. Jadi saya atur dulu saya beritahu dulu rule-nya. Rules-nya adalah akan ada 3 pertanyaan dan teman-teman para partisipan bisa menjawab pertanyaan tersebut dan pertanyaannya terkait dari ResearchMate dan it's very simple question. Kemudian jawabannya di type di chat box. Jawaban yang tercepat dan tertepat akan mendapatkan voucher senilai Rp100.000 berupa e-money. Dan ada juga semua e-money untuk voucher yang akan dibagikan pada sesi quiz ini. Silakan mungkin Mas Hashim untuk pertanyaan pertama dan saya akan berikan aba-aba ya. Teman-teman silahkan get ready to type your answer in chat box.
Yeah,
Dan saya juga akan
question,
membacakan pertanyaannya.
Yeah, let's for the first question as a trial because I want to see the system work. Okay.
Oke. Jadi pertanyaan pertama, silakan Mas. Ini trial dulu ya, teman-teman silakan coba. Ini masih trial ya teman-teman. What is the website link of ResearchMate? Silakan di chat box. Apa link website? Nah, udah ada nih, Anto M, researchmate.com, RSCHmate. Okay, good. I think it works, Mas Hashim. Okay, now we will move to the second question. This is the first question. Who are the founder and the co-founders of ResearchMate? Silakan. Who is the founders and co-founders? Jadi founders dan co-founders-nya ya, teman-teman.
Founder and Miss Nawati. Answer it all. Miss Nawati.
Oke. Ibu Miss Nawati. Jadi banyak yang jawab Pak Samsu Alam, but actually the question is the founder and the co-founders. So the winner is for 100,000 rupiah e-money is Ibu Miss Nawati. Okay, the second question. Okay, thank you Zafran for this is the third question. How many features or services provided by ResearchMate?
we got Iradwi. Is that 4? The answer is 4? Yeah. Okay.
We have Iradwi.
Yep.
Yep, Iradwi. Yeah.
Okay, last question. Is there another question? Alan, Pak Hashim?
Last question probably from Samsu Alam.
I have no
Silakan,
question.
Okay, because we already, I will give the questions because we have the answer that it has 4 features or 4 services, ada 3 fitur dari ResearchMate. Sebutkan apa saja fitur-fitur tersebut. Jadi sebutkan fitur-fitur apa aja yang ada di ResearchMate, service apa aja yang disediakan oleh ResearchMate. Sudah adakah? Fitur apa aja yang consultations, yes. Apa ada lagi? Ada lagi mungkin selain consultation? Consultant plus collaboration, angel investor. Ya, maybe kita beberapa detik lagi ya, kemudian kita close yang mana yang paling cepat.
Sepertinya belum ada.
Sepertinya belum ada.
Ya, 4 dari presentasi Mas Hasim di halaman pertama tadi. Ada 4.
Oke, kita ambil jawaban yang paling mendekati ya. Silakan Kak, siapa Mas Hasim mungkin mau memilih dan membenarkan jika memang.
Yang paling mendekati Nurul Ali.
Nurul Ali, consultant, class collaboration. Maaf, consultant, class collaboration, angle investor.
No, Nurul Ali.
Nurul Ali, subscribe open class, consultant assistantship.
That's the answer.
Congratulations to Ibu Miss Nawati, Iradwi, and Nurul Ali. You win 100,000 rupiah voucher of Iman. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we still have 1 voucher, Pak. Will we use the roulette?
Yes, let's play the roulette.
Yeah, I think we still have that. So this is for the lucky one. 1, 2, 3. Najwa Nabila Hasan, kita cek dulu ada nggak nih orangnya. Can you please unmute your microphone, Najwa Nabila Hasan? Are you here? Jika misalnya nggak ada, kita ganti, kita play lagi roulette-nya. Ada Najwa Nabila Hasan? Sepertinya nggak ada ya. Oke, kita play lagi sepertinya. Sekali lagi. Nina Purwanti, Universitas Pertahanan Indonesia, are you here?
I don't think so. Let's
I
play
don't
again.
think so. Okay, play again. Silakan Mas Andre. Trianti Tufaila, are you here? Trianti?
Nggak ada, lanjut aja.
Nggak ada, lanjut lagi. Kok yang beruntung ini nggak ada ya? Dr. Eko Arianto, SPU, Universitas Samratulangi. Adakah? Tidak ada juga. Kita lagi,
Probably.
Mas.
Okay, the last one.
The last one, kalau nggak ada kita pick up aja ya.
No, I have question for the participants.
Oh, you have question? Nur Muhammad Maulana Hasnur dari IAIN Bone. Wow, jauh sekali. Ada orangnya?
No,
Nur.
no, I think.
Okay, do you have question, Mas? Mas
Yes.
Hashim?
Okay, for the last voucher, I have question for you all. Could you please tell or said in the chat box how many speakers today, and please the full name of the speaker.
Okay, please
Including the name.
mention, write the name of the speakers. Ada 4, dan write the name, please. Who is the name of the speakers?
Oke, ada itu. V. Iswardani. Kayaknya udah.
Udah benar ya, Ibu Tri Iswardani.
Congratulations, Ibu.
Congratulations, Ibu.
And thanks for staying until the end of the.
Ibu Tris, you win a book voucher worth 100,000 rupiah that can be spent in buku baik, and you will have the instruction for the voucher through the email. Thank you very much for all the participants, and especially for all the speakers. We have valuable insights regarding artificial intelligence in many sectors in our life, and thank you also for the ResearchMate team for entrusted me to host these insightful events. It's an honor for me, and I would like to say
Foto dulu kayaknya ya.
Yeah. Congratulations to the ResearchMate for the soft launch, and we are waiting for the fully launch of this platform. So before we end this session and this event today, let's check the picture. Could you please, guys, turn on your camera? We will remember this in a history that you are, guys, becoming the part of ResearchMate launch for today. This is very innovative idea from young Indonesian researchers. Okay, Mas Andre, could you please take the pictures?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Please wait a minute. And take it again. Second page. 3, 2, 1. Please. All right, perfect.
Well, thank you very much for all attendees for today's and our sponsors. And I know that we have a different time. Now we are coming from all parts of the world. And ya makasih semuanya.
Oke, makasih semua. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Congratulations, ResearchMate. Ditunggu fully launch-nya.
Thank you.
Ini Ardila masih di London ini. Masih pagi ya? Bro Ardila, how are you?
Dari London ada hadir.
Ada Kak, ada. Alhamdulillah. Mantap, mantap.
UCL student ini. LPD
Luar biasa tim. Luar biasa tim ResearchMate ini Kak. Congrats for the launching Kak Alan and team.
Oke, ditunggu jadi konsultan ya.
Siap, insya Allah Kak Alan.